In the last video, we were able to calculate the average of files with a bunch of different sizes, O10, O100, and O1000, those three files. And the program was able to figure out how many points there were in the file, as well as taking the average of all those points. We did that by changing the name of the file in the program itself, then recompiling and rerunning it. Users who don't know how to compile a program would not be able to do that same trick. And so what I want to figure out in this video is, show you in this video is, can we somehow have a user input the name of a file when they call the program through the terminal, right, from the command line argument through the terminal. That's what we're going to learn in this video. It turns out it's a pretty powerful tool that we're going to learn, and so that's what's going to happen in this video. When we start this new project, it's very similar to the average _with _file _unknown folder program. So I'm going to take that folder, just make a copy of it. I'm going to change the name of that folder to average _argv. We're going to learn about what argv is as well. Then I go into that folder, that average _argv folder. I get rid of the executable, and I'm going to change the name of the C file to average _argv.c, and then click on it. It should come up in Xcode, no problem. And we're going to make only 2 lines are going to be different in this program than from the previous program that we did. First, the main one is we're going to change is the main line itself, int main. We're going to put the following in the parentheses next to main. Int space argc, comma, char, C-H-A-R, space, star, argv, square brackets, with nothing in between the square brackets. Main is a function, just like fscanf or all the other functions that we've used. They're input arguments, and there's a return argument. At the bottom of every main program, we return 0, right? We've ignored the input arguments to main up until this point. We've just left it blank. But now we're including it. It's very specific. They can only be, the arguments to main can only be this in a C program. Int space argc, comma, char space star argv, square brackets. All right, and so that's one change that we're going to do. It turns out that's such an important change that I'm going to go ahead and into the template program. So I go into the template folder, then double click on template.c. It comes up in Xcode. And I'm going to add that to template.c as well, because I want that to be in all future programs, is to have the arguments for main in the template program, the template C program that we're going to use. So make sure you do that too. So that's one thing. The only other thing we're going to do is in the fopen statement, instead of doing double quotes and having the name of the file in there, I'm going to put argv square bracket 1. argv1 is in there. What's that? Well, argv stores the characters that you write down in the terminal when you call the program. And there's argv0 and argv1 and other argvs too, depending on how you make the call from the terminal. argv0, the first argument, is the actual name of the program that you call, and argv1 is after the space of the name of the program you call is whatever you put in there. We're going to put the name of a file in there. So it's the second argument after the name of the argument, after the name of the file that you call from the terminal. It's a way to communicate between argv is a way to communicate from the terminal into the program by the user. Cool. All right. So that's it. So the only 2 lines are different, the main line and the fopen line using argv1. That's it. So let's save it, Command S, then I go back into the terminal. I double click on the terminal icon, up it comes. I have to cd desktop, cdc code, and then cd space average _argv to get into that folder that I'm in. Then I compile the program, and I'm going to run it. argv, average underscore argv space, and then the name of a file. I'm going to use file O10 as a starting point, o10.txt. I press enter, and then it takes the average of that 10 element file. Then I'm going to do the 1,000 point file. I don't need to recompile it all. I just have to say /average underscore argv space o1000.txt. Press enter, and it does the 1,000 point file too. That's the trick. The trick is using argv to pass the file name in through the terminal call. It's a pretty powerful trick. We're going to use it a lot, and it's going to be able to help us do a lot of really cool data analysis in the future.